Capital Kingdom Basketball Zone, and most importantly, all of our viewers tonight. For every fan out there watching, I want to make sure you guys understand we're brought to you by Medici Sacramento. If you guys want to have a nice and excellent Italian dish, please drop by Medici Sacramento. A proud sponsor of the Capital Kingdom and Basketball Zone content. So the Kings tonight fall 94-91 to the Indiana Pacers, leaving us with not a sense of, as they'd say in layman's terms, a moral victory, but let's just not get anything confused. The Kings have competed in each and every contest this season out of all 10 games. I think that with the Kings losing by 3 tonight, we obviously seen that, as they'd say, the miscues were offensively. And I think it's just a thing that we look at in the micro, and that is obviously the Kings had a sense of just not making the opportunistic plays when it presented itself, but a lot of uncanny mistakes offensively when they had the golden opportunity to not even put the Pacers away, but just get in position to win the game, whether it's by 1 point or 5 points. You look at the box score tonight. Harrison, again, doing Harrison-like things to start this 10-game season as the Kings are 5-5, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. De'Aaron, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Buddy Hield, doing Buddy things, just I think fitting perfectly, and most importantly, more than proficient in his role. 17 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Haliburton, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Like Mo Harkless, 21 points tonight, didn't get one single basket. Like, that can't happen, Rashawn, 11 points, 9 rebounds. Solid contest from Rashawn. But again, if you look at the second half, the Kings cut it. I think actually they're up 3. It was, I believe, 81-78 when they had a three-pointer made by, I believe, Haliburton. And then they just kind of, I won't say fizzled out, but the Pacers got on top and jumped back on top, and they couldn't cut the deficit. I believe actually it was 78-75, but nonetheless, they couldn't get back in position to become obviously victorious tonight. But I'm not going to be Debbie Downer per se. I just feel as if they were not making opportunistic plays offensively when they had the chance to put themselves in positions rather to win the game, with the Pacers giving them each and every opportunity to win the contest. But they're just making uncanny plays on the offensive end to result in this loss. And we still lost by 3. And we had a chance to tie the game at the end, or win the game with the Haliburton 3 that he was more than short by. He was greatly short with his temp, and that's okay. I mean, you can't expect him to make game-winning basket. Which again, I think the Kings had a graphic when Harrison hit that game winner. Last week, the Kings have the most, if not top 3 most game winners in the last 2 seasons in the NBA, or something of that ilk, or maybe last 3 seasons. But again, we had a chance to win the game, and then we've had an opportunity to tie. When they missed the first free throw, when McDonald missed that first free throw, about 2.6 seconds left. Excuse me. So, again, you look at things from a macro. Now, 5-5 through 10 games. I can't sit there and act as if I'm surprised. I can't sit there and act as if I'm upset. But I can say I'm a little shocked that we have actually, competed in each and every contest. I don't know any game that we really got blown out in, and that's a great thing. With an 8 to 9 man rotation, with essentially the same roster we had last year, outside of Alex Len and Tristan Thompson, who really split nights. Where if Tristan's playing, Len's probably not, and if Thompson is not playing, it's because Len's playing, and vice versa. You know what I mean? So, in each and every contest the Kings have lost, out of the 5 games, the only game they lost by double digits was to the Warriors. They lost by 12. But outside of that, every other game they play, and they were playing with the Warriors up to the fourth quarter, and the Warriors, I think, are in second place, if not first in the West. I believe at least second, and, the pedigree they have, looking like they're in full championship mode, at least to compete for the Western Conference opportunities to represent the West in the finals. But nonetheless, let's talk about the Kings. If anyone wants to drop a comment in the comment section, we'd be more than glad to discuss. From start to finish, though, I feel like the Kings played well defensively. Davion, again, I think got to contribute a little more on the offensive end, but that's not his skill set. Not let's reword that. Not so much his skill set. That's not his strength to start his NBA career, as he is obviously in his rookie season. That's more than okay. 2 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. Just the ball well in his 28 minutes of action. Played consistent and most importantly, efficient defense. Alex Lynn's box numbers weren't great. He had 5 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists rather. But I think he did more than enough in the interior to make his presence felt against Sabonis and Turner. Um, I think Fox's struggles, even though he had 17 and 3 tonight with 2 assists, I think um, it's 10 games through. And if you see things, in the micro, like we'll go back from the macro to the micro, but we'll take the micro perspective of De'Aaron Fox. Are you willing to consider parting ways with him? Because 10 games through, he's averaging 15 points or 17 points, 16 points more or less when he averaged 25 a night last year. Tyson Warren just mentioned, just struggled to make open shots. Yeah, consistent. Like I said, they make uncanny mistakes offensively to put themselves in position to put the victory up on the board for Sacramento, because time after time they put themselves in, whether it was a pick and roll action, whether it was just double roll, whatever it may be, in regards to they had some sort of set and they wouldn't execute. Haliburton was definitely the motor offense for the Kings, but outside of Haliburton, I didn't really see a lot of offense execution from them collectively. Um, I seen from my vantage point, Terrence Davis. I don't think he's getting enough minutes, and most importantly, I think he's not getting enough shots. I don't understand why. Again, we've talked about this in previous shows. Why he got a 2-year extension? He's not going to get the minutes. He got 5 minutes, and I don't feel like he played bad in 5 minutes, but he's taken out, and we didn't see him after that in the contest. Again, Buddy's getting heavy minutes. Tyrese and him almost getting equal minutes as the two shooting guards per se for the team. Um, I want you guys' opinions. What do you guys think De'Aaron Fox's issues are as a whole? But I think overall the uh, De'Aaron Fox haters per se need to relax, okay? Because I'm not willing to trade De'Aaron Fox, especially not for what people are presuming him to be, somewhat, lackluster this season to start. And Harrison Barnes dropped a quote in the postgame: "The difference between us being a good team and not a playoff team is our consistency." 200%. But I mean, look, last 2 seasons after Jaeger, where were the Kings at through 10 games in the last 2 seasons? And most importantly, look at the point differential. The Kings are not getting outscored by anybody in any great way, shape, or form. And most importantly, when we play, we're in every game. We're competing 200% in each and every contest. And you see that Buddy Hield was talked about by Luke Walton. He played a game that he deserved to be on the court. Very pleased with how Buddy Hield is playing. I'm very happy with Buddy Hield's playing too. And two things I want Kings fans to understand. Yes, I'm a fan per se of sending him out to make a transaction happen per se to make Kings better. But that's something because his relative value and worth in the league is something that we can more or less send him off and still be somewhat formidable in the shooting guard position. But let's not get one thing. That's my second point, and that's that I want everyone to understand that the Kings fans are not going to appreciate Buddy Hield until he is gone. And that's his 3-point shooting, and that's most importantly his ability to stretch the floor and space the floor. And I just really hope that people have a sense of who he is, because when he's gone, if he is ever traded, he will be gone, and will be gone for a multitude of reasons. And it won't be because he can't per se play basketball in a proficient manner, but it's because we have to make that move. But I'm happy where he's at right now, and as a Kings basketball enthusiast, obviously, I don't see fans pointing the finger at other people when they have sort of miscues of that nature, in regards to defensive liability or playmaking ability, so on and so forth, etc. Sorry about that to all my Cowbell Kingdom and Basketball Zone fans. I had some unopportunistic background noise from someone that I'm currently in the same premises as, but my apologies. Anyway, so like I was saying, currently, I just think Buddy Hield fans and Buddy Hield, we'll say again, haters need to realize his ability to stretch the floor and space the floor for us as a team offensively is something that I think is really not just undervalued, but not taken into account unless you really have some basketball acumen. And I think Daryl Morey, quite frankly, is a moron. Like, I think he would fit perfect in their scheme. And hey, if they don't want him, well, I'm glad to keep him. Obviously, I feel like Ben Simmons would take us into another level, another dimension as far as our ability to compete in the playoffs. If we were to happen to get a playoff spot, and that's all a big hypothetical. But again, he's doing things that the Kings do not see as well as just the offensive spacing. But you see when he's on the floor, there's so much just room to maneuver and navigate. And I feel like as Kings fans, you guys tend to forget, or we tend to forget rather, because I'm putting myself in that category, that he is undervalued. And yeah, he doesn't again play the best defense or isn't the best ball handler, playmaker. But name another shooter on our team that when he pulls up from three, we're like, oh, that's going in every time, each and every time. Like people tend to forget that and seem to forget that his ability to do that each game, night in, night out on the basketball court is something that you cannot duplicate and replicate. That is something that this team hasn't had outside of Peja Stojakovic on a consistent basis, part of this franchise year in and year out for what? Half part of a decade at least, and that's being generous. You got to think the Kings were once, like you said, me, Leo, and Emmanuel. We've all talked about it. E-Man, Ty, the lavish stock of the league, and they say basketball purgatory lives here. But again, you look at the thing that Kings do well, and that's they have some true and consistent continuity. But the consistency that we are lacking is obviously night in, night out with our collective execution, what Harrison Barnes said between us being a good team or not, when reflecting on what's going to take for us to become a true playoff contender. And, I think overall, 3-point loss. We got a back-to-back tomorrow playing Phoenix, seeing Ayton and Chris Paul, Booker back at the crib, Golden One Center, Sacramento. Make sure you tune into our post-game coverage, Basketball Zone, Cowbell Kingdom, right after the game's over, because we'll have a show right when the game concludes, because that contest will be more than extravagant to watch. Most importantly, that show for our post game will be even better. You look at a comment from 24. Let me see, 24 boss, 242 boss. The offense only looks good when Buddy's on the floor and is on hand to get him shots. It's hard to get him shots, rather. Can't even get him in a good shot to try and win the game. Make it decent. Instead, the Kings throw up garbage attempts in crunch time. 7-13 Kings. Well, okay. Again, I agree with part of that statement. Again, everyone was so quick to want to trade Buddy Hield. Would the Kings be 5-5 without Buddy Hield right now? I don't know. If they had Ben Simmons, I don't know if they'd be better for worse. I just know that we need to appreciate him while he's here, because at any given juncture, he's liable to make a three. Most importantly, at any given moment in the game, he's liable to get hot and get, most importantly, a sense of a sniper in every which sense, in every which way from the 3-point line that we've never had to Peja Stojakovic. And that's something that, as an NBA 3-point just phenom, I'm not saying he's an NBA phenom and his players, like, in regards to his status as a, NBA star, because he's not a star, but I'm talking about NBA 3-point phenom. We have, I think, a top 3 NBA shooter in the league. And if we were to lose him, per se, through acquisition, trade him at this time, we would vitally and most importantly make a huge, 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 huge change of how we score offensively in regards to consistent offensive execution. Yeah, we look good now, but again, he spaced the floor in every which way. And there's a massive amount of fans out there that do not appreciate his skill set, or they tend to only look at the lack of skill he has in the pass game, defensive side of the ball, which I think he's made improvement on and definitely improved in those categories. Most importantly, they say his playmaking ability and stuff. Buddy Hield's a sniper. Buddy Hield's a 3-point phenom. Most important 3-point situation that puts teams in a situation where they have to see about not just him on the perimeter, but they have to space defensively to keep everything in consistent flow and continuity with their schematic play design. Because if not, he's going to eat you and kill you from three. Whether he's hot, cold, or indifferent, he's always going to have that confidence, which again is something that's invaluable. And having that confidence that he has, you can't teach that. That comes within, man. It comes within inside. And I just appreciate Buddy Hield. I want to give him some love tonight because no matter what, the Kings are up by 5, down by 5, up 1, down 1. He was shooting that basket or shooting that ball, getting that ball to the basket each and every time, believing that he's going to make that basket. And most importantly, throwing up the three, putting up the three, giving us a chance to have this game in hand. And it wasn't his fault. We lost, per se. We got a few more minutes here. Go about another 5, 6, 7 minutes. I feel as if, again, we talked about, I think, 2 post-game shows ago, maybe 3. The 8-man rotation tonight was about 9. But again, Terrence Davis only played 5 minutes. I think for whatever reason, we need to consider playing more Metu, maybe Davion Jones. Excuse me. Davion Jones might be something. I think that would be highly, 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 highly beneficial to keep Rashawn fresh. We're also going to a quick conversation right now. Leah presented a trade, which I don't think is practical, but Jeremy Grant for Tristan Thompson, Marvin Bagley, 2 first-round picks. I don't see the picks being something I don't want to give up, at least not 2. I'd see why the Pistons would be privy to that, but I don't want to go 2 first-round picks with Jeremy Grant. I don't think he's a difference maker in regards to us making us a top 5 team in the West. I think Leo feels different. But again, like I said, Buddy Hield's not the issue. I want to see Davion Jones get more minutes, or Metu, or because I want to see them put Rashawn in a position to, stay fresh. I feel like he's getting not a lot of wear and tear, but he's tolling and just most importantly, logging a lot of minutes in the center position each and every game throughout the season. And the interior of our most important part of anything we're doing with our paint players in the paint is with Rashawn Holmes, putting himself in position to stay healthy, but most importantly, last through all 82 games. And I feel like we need to consider playing one of those 2 bench backup power forwards or centers, respectively. The Jeremy Grant deal, just I agree with it to a certain extent. I just don't want to go 2 first-round picks. That's just my own personal preference. If Monty and Aaron make that move, I wouldn't be mad at it. But I'm still holding out hope for Mr. Simmons to come. I want to have Benito part of this program, part of this organization. But hey, we got about 2, 3 more minutes, and then we'll definitely call it a night. I just want to see what anybody thought of just overall understanding that we've been in every contest, each and every game so far, 10 games through. And then Mr. Santiago says his issue is he's not a franchise player. Are you referring to Ben Simmons? Because he is a 3-time All-Star and 2-time All-Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, I can't sit there and, shun the notion that he's not somebody that would change his franchise. And, excuse me, it's been a long day. Yeah. De'Aaron Fox, not a franchise player. I mean, he's in year 5, 17, 18, 9. Yeah, he's in year 5. He averaged 25 points a game last year in his 4th year. I mean, there's some truth to that, but I can't accept that, not just yet. If we're 7 years through, I'm not going to say 7 years through. If they can't break between 35 and 40 wins this year, then you might have a point. Even that might be a low number, a low threshold. But I just feel as if with Leo and, E-Man and even, Tyese takes, we need to just wait on Fox. And not so much wait, but we need to be a little more patient. And then somebody said we'll never get there, Luke Walton. Well, who would you prefer to hire to have us be in a position to make the playoffs for, whatever head coach that you'd be interested in? Luke Walton, freelance, sets, sinks. Do you mean his sets offensively? Freelance, sets, sinks? Oh, offensively, freelance. Oh, so you're talking about his offensive schematic play design is something you don't like and aren't privy to agree with. Each his own. I wasn't a fan of it either, but again, show me a game that the Kings haven't competed in. And they're 500 right now with a tough schedule through 10 games. And the only game they lost by double digits was to the Warriors. I can't be mad at that. What about let's see. 2 minutes left. Yeah, about 2 more minutes. If you guys have any other comments, I can chime in and give my opinion on. Looking to get into the Phoenix Suns contest tomorrow. Definitely excited for the 8th of November 2021 matchup against Phoenix Suns at the Caribbean Golden One Center. Most importantly, make sure you guys tune in to the post-game show, the Cowbell Kingdom Basketball Zone podcast post-game show following the game. Brought to you by Valley Tire Center, the best Valley Tire Center. Most importantly, the best tire shop for any and every 916 Sacramento County resident. Make sure you go check out Valley Tire Center, your home of the best tires in the county of Sacramento. But before we wrap up today, I want to make sure everybody understands it's a very critical game tomorrow, not just for the morale of keeping us above 500, but I want to see how we can fare against playing Phoenix. We played them within, I think, 10-day window, not 7-day window. You look at the game schedule of the Kings. Last time, obviously, they played. We came out, and I think we looked formidable. We won by 3. We played on the 27th. Yeah, about 10, 11 days ago, we beat them by 3. I just want to see if we can keep up that type of grit and tenacity, most importantly, that toughness and play with that work on defensive end, because I feel like, we can show the West that we're not just here to, be in games, but we're here to win contests consistently. I'm not saying we're going to be a 50-win team, but let's get to 500, and most importantly, let's get to where we want to be and get in that top 10, if not our ultimate goal, in the top 8, and break this 15-year drought. For Javier and all my Cowboy Kingdom Basketball Zone family members here, part of this, more than proficient and productive platform. I look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow. Post-game show, the 8th of November, 2021. Phoenix Suns, Sacramento Kings. Tune in live at the Golden One Center, 7 p.m. tip-off, and we'll have the post-game show shortly thereafter. I appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. Thank you so much. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you guys in the next one.